Hi, and welcome to the dinner agenda. This is Bo.
And this is CeeLo.
Hey,
Yeah.
CeeLo. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now you're not a news broadcaster, but you're a
You know,
soul singer?
I was a little I was a little singy. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit. A little Elvis-y maybe, I don't know. It felt
Elvis?
very singy. Yeah, is how I finished it, so that I was like, "Oh, it kinda feels kinda singy."
Are you
You know?
drunk? Yeah, okay.
No.
Okay. She's like, no, no. How's it
No.
going?
Sadly. Um, I have been so friggin' sick,
Yes.
but
Yes, I
I'm
know.
better now.
I am
A
really, really
little.
glad that you're better. There's something nasty going around. There are so many people that I know who are sick, and
Yeah.
it like, every other day I'm hearing of somebody new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was it COVID or was it just like, do you know, like, did you
The
test? I mean, do
people
you test anymore? I don't know. Do
I
you?
don't know. Does anyone test anymore? I'm not testing. I think
No,
we
I
still
don't.
probably have some test kits that have been hoarded somewhere, but I'm sure
Yeah.
they've all expired. I have no idea if it was the or not, but
Yeah.
I was in a meeting on Wednesday
Mhm.
and someone looked over at me and was like, "Do you feel okay?" I'm
Oh
like,
no, Sila, why? What happened?
and they're like, "Your eyes are like little and red, and you're like all
Oh
flushed." And I'm like,
no.
"Yeah, I'm feeling like I don't feel so good."
Oh, it was really that bad, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the fever is the worst for like that whole when your skin hurts and you
Yes.
don't want to move
Yes.
and you just want to bundle up under something. I hate that
Yes.
part, but
I know. I know.
I didn't move. I was horizontal for like 3 days basically.
Yeah.
I went and got blood work done on Saturday morning.
For the like, for
That
this
was it.
cold or for something else?
No, 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 just for
Okay.
like in
Yeah,
general, right?
okay.
I
Yeah.
was like, "Fuck, I was supposed to get it done Monday," and the whole week went by and I didn't do it, and I thought,
Yeah.
"Well, let me just go." So I just masked up and
Yeah.
went and did that. But other than that, I literally didn't move. Good
You know,
times.
yeah, well, you're not the only one who has said that, is what happened when they got sick as well. The few people that I
Yeah,
do know, they were saying the same thing. They were out of commission for 3, 4 days, just
yeah,
literally lying on the sofa. People who would normally never take a sick day were taking
yeah,
sick days. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
like, yeah, yeah, it's
I
not good.
do find as I've gotten older, like, I can remember being sick, like, as a young person, being, like, so sick and just going to work.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking, like, when I was in my 20s, way before pandemic, right?
yeah,
That
yeah,
it
yeah.
was a sign of strength to go and infect everyone else in the office.
It's true though, it's like you were
Um,
looked at so bad if you didn't suck it up and come in, right?
Suck
Yeah,
it up, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then, like,
No.
post-co, it's like the norm. Now you're like people will
Yeah,
frown on you if you come in because even, like, the day that
yeah,
I was in, I went in, like, I felt okay in the morning.
yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of felt like my throat felt dry, but I thought it was maybe just dry in the house. Like, I did not feel like
yeah,
I should have stayed home, but by the
yeah.
afternoon, I'm like, "I need to go home." But
That's
I just find that as you've gotten older,
yeah.
like, I can't there's no pushing through. I am laying down. I am sleeping. That's what I'm doing. That's it.
There's no pushing through when you get older. It's like I know, I know,
Not for when you feel shitty like that. Forget
I
about it.
know, I know.
It's crazy.
CeeLo, I was out on Saturday night at one of my other cousins' house. It was a bunch of us cousins that had gotten together to, I know, right?
Italian disco?
The Italian get together, and
That's what I mean.
so we were playing games and stuff. But the thing is, my cousin and her husband, they're retired, and
Yes.
I'm just like thinking, like when I watch them and when I talk to them, I'm like, I could so do this. I
The
could so.
retirement part.
Oh, yes. It's like it gives me excitement about what's to come because I could definitely retire right now. Not like I could afford to, but physically and mentally I could retire right now.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
There's
shut
some days
up. Listen to you. I
there's
don't
some
know. I
days
don't know
for
what I'm
sure.
gonna do with my time. I don't know what I'm me, 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 me,
Yeah,
me.
a little bit. A little bit.
Really? Like, there's so many things that you can do. There's so many fucking things. Going for walks in a whole bunch of different places, going to volunteer at places. You
I
like
know, but
writing,
I
write something.
it's not that those things don't bring me joy. I'm sure they would bring me joy. But right now, so much has been wrapped up around my work persona. Like
Right.
it's been so much a lot. And so I think even like going off on mat leave and having kids,
Mm,
like that adjusted it a little bit as well. And so now it's like adjusting again as you start to approach retirement. And I'm like, it's not that
mm,
I'm not excited to not have to go to work anymore, but
mhm, mhm.
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know if I'm as
okay.
excited as you.
Okay, well, I will be excited and you don't have to be excited. But I have some news for you. I have my own little
Oh,
story to share.
let's go.
Yeah.
What's your story?
Okay, so let me tell you. So
Okay.
on Wednesday last week,
Yes.
I was on the phone with Dave. He was driving home from work
Yes.
and he happened to be a little bit late coming home, like leaving work. And so he called to say, I'm just not in the mood to cook dinner. Do you think we could order something? And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Like, what do you have anything in mind specifically? So he's like, I'd love some fish and chips. So I'm like, okay, great.
Oh,
Right? So we haven't had that in a while. So I was like, okay, so what should I order it now? He's like, yeah, pretty much. Like, order it now and I should be home in about 15 minutes and blah blah. And I'm like, okay, great, blah blah blah. And then we just said a few other little things and
yeah.
hung up the phone and fine, no problem. And then I hear his car, I order the food. I hear his car kind of pull into the driveway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so he's home. And then all of a sudden, CeeLo, I started to get this little pain in my side. And I'm like, okay, that's a little odd. Like it just came on really suddenly, so I thought it was just a like one of those stitches, when you get a stitch?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, fine, no problem. And then like within seconds it's like getting worse and worse and worse. And now Dave comes in the house and he looks over and he's like, "What the fuck is wrong?" And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm in just so much fucking pain. I'm in so much fucking pain. He's like, I was just talking to you and you were
Yeah.
fine and joking around. I'm like, I know, I don't know what's going on, but I'm in so much. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. So I ran to the bathroom and I threw
Oh,
up.
no.
And I was like, what the fuck? Do I have the stomach flu? Or, do I have, what was that pancreatitis, like that really, like, I didn't know. I thought, because it was so painful and I could feel it on the inside of my body. I thought, honestly, it had something to do with an organ. Like, that's what it felt like. So, anyways, then Dave is like, well, what do we do? I mean, do you need to go to the hospital? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, the food comes right in the middle of
Mhm.
this. So we bring the
Yeah.
food inside. And
Uh-oh,
then
I think I
I'm
lost you
literally
for a
doubled over, CeeLo.
second.
Like I'm in excruciating pain. And he's like, that's it. We got to go. We got to go. So we literally didn't
Okay,
even,
wait, you paused for a second, so you need to go back a little bit. Should
what?
we go to the hospital? Question mark. And then what happened?
And then we went to the hospital.
Oh.
No. So no, what I was going to say was no, he said, should we go to the hospital? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And then the food comes as we're having this dialogue. Anyways, and then I'm doubled over. So he's like, we got to go. So we just put the food, we didn't even open the bag. We literally just put it to the
Oh,
side. We went to the hospital. CeeLo, I have never, ever,
that's
ever,
bad if you left your fish and chips.
literally, but I have never been in so much excruciating pain. So he was driving to the hospital. He had to stop so that I could get out of the car and throw up again. And the pain was unbearable. Like it was literally, it was like nothing I have ever felt. I felt like
Do you
I was
still
going
have
to,
your gallbladder?
yeah, no, I don't have a gallbladder.
Yeah.
It was taken out. I really honestly felt one of two things was going to happen. I was either going to pass out from the pain because it was so intense,
Yeah.
or I was going to literally go crazy. Like cuz it was really that bad. So we pull into the emergency. I go in and I'm usually very calm when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I I literally walked in. I was just like, I need help. I need help. Somebody needs to help me. Like it was like I was doubled over. I felt like no, really, CeeLo, I felt
Oh my
like
god.
yeah, I
I'm
felt
laughing because I'm kind of picturing you and it's after the fact and I can
oh,
see you're fine
I
now,
know.
but
I know. But I felt like I thought that maybe I had an organ that had burst. That's what it felt like to me. Anyways, so they bring me in and they, do the triage or whatever. And so we do have to wait. So they give me a wheelchair. I have to get up and I have to run and vomit again because I don't know if it's the pain that's making me throw up or if it's, I have no idea.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But anyways, so then when they call me in to do the triage, right, where they actually have to take your temperature and blood pressure and tell you to go get blood work and whatever,
yeah,
right? As they call me in, Dave starts to wheel me and I'm like, wait a second, hold on, let me walk because I could feel the pain dissipating. I'm like, what? So, anyways, I go and I sit down in the chair. They go to put the blood pressure cuff on. And I just said to the nurse, I said, you're not going to fucking believe this. I came in here thinking I was fucking dying, that an organ had burst and I literally had like seconds to fucking live. Like that's how bad it felt. No, it was searing, like searing
yes,
pain. And I
yes,
said, and now it's fucking gone. And she's
yeah,
like, that's always the way. Like it's always the way. So she says, but you need to stay because it could come back again. Like for a
yeah,
pain that is that intense, it can come back
yeah,
again. And we need to figure out what the heck this is because it was debilitating, like it was that bad. So I'm
total.
like, okay, fine. So we stay. Now I'm not that much of an emergency situation. So now they're not rushing me through things, right?
Yeah.
And Dave's like, could you not have said that you're
I know, I'm like, "Just a little longer, just a little longer."
But the problem is that it was so bad that there was just no faking that. Like I was beside myself, literally. Anyways, finally I see the ER doctor and he lays me down and he's like touching my stomach and, doing whatever. And he says to me, I think this is a kidney stone. And I said, what? A kidney stone? It's to the side and towards the front of my abdomen area. And I thought kidney stones hurt in
Oh.
the back, right? Like that's what I thought.
Oh, yeah, I
And
would have thought
yeah,
that too.
that's what I thought. He goes, I bet you anything, it's a kidney stone. He said, we're gonna get you in for a CAT scan and let's check this out. So I was like, okay, fine. So they send me for blood work. They bring me upstairs. They do a CAT scan, and they do a urine test as well. Blah blah blah. An hour and a half later, 2 hours later, maybe, the ER doctor calls me back, and he's like, "Yep, you have a 5 millimeter kidney stone." And I'm like, "That's what was causing." He said, "Listen, kidney stone pain is one of the worst pains imaginable. It is so severe that it is intolerable." So he said, because it's 5 millimeters, I'll more than likely be able to just pass it naturally without having to have surgery for it.
Oh,
But he says, you're going to have to carry morphine with you at all times because if the pain comes back, you're going to need some help. And I'm like, oh my Lord. Like that's heavy duty shit. But yeah, so that's where we're at. So I still have not passed it yet. He has
how will you know if you do, though?
okay, so here's the thing. They gave me, and this is what is so bizarre, CeeLo, okay? There's this, it literally looks like a coffee filter. Like, from the brewing coffee machine, the
Yes.
hard plastic, where you put your paper filter in. It
Yeah,
looks like that hard plastic thing, okay, like coffee filter, and it's got a very, very, very fine filter on the bottom. And they gave me one of these, and basically he basically said, take this around with you wherever you're going, and anytime you have to pee, put it there and pee into it, so that way, if the stone comes out, you'll catch it, right? And they want you to catch the stone because the urologist can test the stone to let you
yeah,
know what kind of kidney stone it is. And based on what type of kidney stone it is, then they will let you know what you might need to do to prevent it. Because once you have one, the likelihood of having it again is higher. And I
And
guess
testing it will give them an idea of what kind it is. Is that?
yeah, like, is it a calcium one or is it something else or is it,
Mhm.
so and there could potentially be dietary restrictions, who knows, right? Like, depending on what type of kidney stone it is. So anyways, like, realistically, I cannot carry this coffee filter to, at work all the time, right? But what the nurse had said,
Yeah.
right? So, but what the nurse had said was, she goes, more than likely because it's 5 millimeters, you'll probably feel it. Like when it's starting to come out or want to come out, you will probably feel it because she said it's probably going to be very painful. So, what I'm kind of thinking is, when I start to have some pain, I'll start peeing in the coffee filter. I really don't know. I really don't know how to navigate this one. Like I
Like, when
really
you
don't
start
know.
to have some pain, like, get that morphine going and
Well,
your coffee filter. But, like, it could happen
I
at
know.
home in
Anyway,
the middle of the night or
yeah.
at home, work from home day, awesome. Or it could be like you're driving home from work or
Yeah.
something. You don't know
Yeah.
when it's gonna happen.
No, you don't, and so, this is one of the things that I've had to like, Dave and I have both said, it's like, if I'm out and it happens, the pain is so bad, I would have to pull over anyways, there's no way that I could drive. I would take the morphine and then call Dave and have him come and get me, and we'll deal with the car later. You know what I mean? Like, that's secondary to, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
So,
I wouldn't worry
yeah.
about that. I just mean for, like,
Mhm.
making sure you get the morphine so you're not, like, feeling like you're dying and then peeing in
Yeah.
the coffee filter. Nick should make kidney stone underwear, you know?
Oh my god,
There's
yes!
an idea,
Holy
right?
shit! CeeLo,
Mhm.
you've
Or
just
you just
made
piss yourself.
millions, because do you know how many people apparently have kidney stones? Like, millions of people. Yeah, exactly. Okay. This is it's CeeLo's idea, but I'm gonna help
Yeah,
her release it. So
patent pending.
this is, yeah, the patent pending. This is the dinner agenda's idea. If anybody steals it, we're suing you. But anyways,
I can
unless you're
see the
Nick's.
commercial now, actually. "Are you still carrying around that coffee filter from the doctor? No, girl, don't do that. Wear your Nix kidney stone underwear. We
Let me
got your 5
demonstrate.
millimeter, your 2 millimeter, whatever kind of stone you got, we got you covered." No?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, lordy lord. Yeah,
Uh,
so there we are. So, mhm.
that reminds me, my sister and I
Mm.
used to record commercials in like, on the cassette tape. We would make up
Yes.
commercials and record them.
Yes.
That
Yes.
just kinda reminded me of that, but, and so, like, no pain at all since, though? You've been
No, no,
okay?
I mean, I had a little bit, but it was not anything that a Tylenol couldn't, handle,
Yeah,
and, I get little pangs here and there, but
yeah.
that's it. Nothing like that evening. I'm okay if I never have to feel that again. That was awful.
No
Really fucking
kidding.
awful. It was disgustingly awful. Um, but nothing yet. And so, like, honestly, CeeLo, I really am at a bit of a loss with this. I don't quite like, I don't really know much about this. I've never experienced this before. Don't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
really
I've
know
heard
what I
they
should
can
or
go
shouldn't be
in,
doing.
like, with a laser and bust them up so that they're smaller and easier to pass, but I guess that's if they're,
Be
like, over a
bigger.
centimeter or something.
Yeah, so what they actually said was anything greater than 5 millimeters is what they do. They go in and they blast it.
Mm,
I'm right at the cusp of, right?
mm.
I don't know.
You have a skinny kidney stone.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's skinny because,
So
because it's
skinny.
so skinny. I'm so skinny and so pretty.
I just snorted. Good times, good times. Okay,
Okay.
so I have a medical thing too.
Tell me, tell me.
I have a medical thing. So my left knee, I will refer to her as my bad knee.
Okay.
Okay,
Your
never
bad
been a
knee from
good
the
knee.
South? Is this the bad knee from the South?
My bad knee from the south of
Mhm.
Georgia.
Joel.
Um,
Mhm.
and it had bothered me. I thought 2 years ago. Turned out it's 4 years ago, and
Oh.
I had gone to see the doctor, and she ended up trying to drain some fluid.
Mhm.
Mm,
Mm.
very unsuccessfully,
Mm.
but
Ugh.
she did give me a cortisone shot at the
Mhm.
time,
Mhm.
and that really helped, and it hasn't really bugged me until recently. I would say end of December, January, it started bugging me again, and I'm like, the fuck? Like, is it because I'm wearing my boots to
Mhm.
walk? You know, because instead of like proper sneakers or whatever, you can't do that in the winter
Yeah.
so much. Anyways, bugging me. It wasn't getting any better. It was getting worse. So I booked an appointment. I went in to see her,
Mhm.
and it had gotten to the point where I couldn't leave it in one position for more than like 10 minutes, or I was in pain and I had to move it around. I
Really?
have like
Well,
almost no mobility. I can barely bend it.
so hold on. When I
Like getting
saw
in and out of the
you
car, it
Oh my
hurt.
gosh. Okay, so when I saw you for coffee at Strickland
Yes.
Squares a few
Yes.
weeks back, a couple
Yeah.
weeks back now, can't remember when it
Yeah.
was. Okay,
Mhm.
you were limping a little bit, but it's gotten worse since then?
No. Once
Okay.
I'm up and moving,
Okay.
I'm not too bad. First thing in the
Okay.
morning was bad. Since then, it definitely had gotten worse. So, like, the week I was in her office was probably a week later after I
Mhm.
saw you,
Mhm.
and the stiffness was really bad. Anyway, she looks at it. She's like, "Oh yeah, it's really swollen.
Mm.
Let me see if let me see if I can get some of that fluid out." And I'm
Oh
like,
God, she did it again.
right?
Oh,
And the
yeah.
last time she went in there with the needle, she's like, "Oh, this is just a bit of freezing." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then she's in there. She's like,
Yeah.
"Are you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then she's like, "Okay, good." And then she's like,
Yeah, I know. I
couldn't
know.
find the spot with the fluid.
Fuck. I know.
I thought I was gonna lose it, but
Yeah.
it's all
Mhm.
good.
Mhm.
Did the same thing this time, and all of a sudden it was like this pop. And she's like,
Oh.
"I got it. I got
Oh.
it." I'm
Oh.
like, "Amazing." So she's gonna drain some of the fluid out. It's gonna be so awesome. And then she's like, "Rosa, Rosa," calling the lady who
Yeah.
works in the front of the office. "Get me one of those urine sample collection. There's a lot of fluid in here."
Oh my God, you're kidding. You're
My
fucking
knee filled
kidding.
up a pea cup sample of fluid.
Really?
Yes.
What
And
the
she
fuck is
called for
going
a second one thinking like this keeps going, but we didn't end up using the second one.
Okay, but okay, so just answer me this, CeeLo. So does she think it's arthritis? Like, what is it? What does she think it is? Like, why are you getting
Well,
fluid?
I don't know. Yes. Well, because the fluid goes there to kind of protect it when it's injured, and that
Okay,
causes then inflammation, I think is
okay,
the idea,
sorry.
but whatever.
The reason why I'm asking you this is because I see the same rheumatologist. I know who you went to,
Yes.
right? And she injects my knees with
Dr. C.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. She injects my knees with Durolane, which is a gel type substance that kind of cushions in between the joints because I have osteoarthritis of the knees, right? And that
Yes.
alleviates some of the pain and, kind of stops the progression to a certain degree. You know what I mean? Like you're still going to progress, but it slows it down a little bit. But she's
Yes.
never once, and my knees would get swollen when they're flared as well. But she's never once drained my knees. So that's why I'm asking. When you went there with like pain in your knee and it was fully swollen, and she said we have to drain it. Did she say what she thought it
She
was?
she touched around and she felt it. Now she had my X-ray or whatever from which I thought it was 2 years ago, apparently it was 4. So she
Hmm.
had that, so she suspected kind of the same thing or,
What was it
um
though? What was it?
oh, she
Osteoarthritis?
I think there yes, uh, yes, some of that,
You don't
arthritis
know,
stuff,
do you?
and there's also wait, there's more things, I think. There's,
But like Ron
uh,
Popeil
on
says,
the
"Wait, there's more." Yes.
patella or under my patella.
What's a
So it's like
patella?
when she showed me the kneecap,
Oh, okay.
the knee ball thing, the cap of the knee.
Okay. Did sh
Oh, I just fucking hit my finger.
Oh my
So
god, if you're
when she
watching YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube.
this is worth it, right? Me
What
doing the
CeeLo just did.
commercial.
Okay. Alright, go
Yeah,
ahead.
when she
Yeah.
shows you the X-ray and there's like a nice even space between like the leg joints, like
Okay.
that looks good. But
Okay.
then where the patella or the kneecap is, it's like
Mhm.
all like crusty looking. So there's like some bone spurring,
Yeah.
arthritis-y things happening.
Okay.
She doesn't do a great job explaining things in a medical
True.
way
True.
to me.
True.
So I'm like Googling shit
Yeah.
after the fact, but
True. I
whatever.
I agreed, agreed. She's
Anyways, it was,
actually a really good doctor, rheumatologist. Like she's got a really good reputation in terms of
I'm sure.
she works at the one of the St. Mike's Hospital, like she
Yeah.
in
Well,
the yeah,
at
orthopedic.
that appointment, she was like,
Oh,
"Meet
okay.
me at St. Mike's. Let's redo the X-ray." So that's where I was earlier this week,
Okay.
and not really much has changed. So I'm like,
So
"Awesome." And she's like, "You're too young for surgery. Let's try some physio." I'm like, "Okay, let's try some physio." So
too young for knee replacement surgery?
she didn't, like I said, explain sweet fuck all to me. She did not
Oh,
explain,
Lord have
but
mercy.
I have a copy of all my shit.
Okay, so how was the pain after she drained your
Mm.
pus-filled knee?
It wasn't great that night. The next day, I was
Mhm.
like a walking machine. Felt like I had a
Mm,
new fucking lease on life.
okay, good.
But then, and I don't know if it's because when I was sick, I didn't really move much for three
Yeah.
days.
Mhm.
If it was the stiffness, like since then, I'm like, it friggin' hurts like hell again. So,
Oh, Silo, I'm so sorry.
yeah,
I'm so sorry. So listen, have you
give me a
tried
morphine.
No. No. There's not a lot of pills, so don't think about breaking into my house to get these pills,
Copy that.
okay?
I
But
would,
no,
if I take that stuff, I'll be like asleep and I'm done for anyway.
100%. Plus, I will
Mm.
fight to the death because I will not feel that pain again. So let's just be clear. But anyways, I'm wondering with your knee, like if it's okay, so you've taken the X-ray. You don't know what the next course of action would be, but have
Me
you?
going to physio.
That's it. But the thing is, did she talk about any kind of? Well, maybe the physiotherapist will talk to you. They've got like knee tensors, like they're not
Yeah,
bandages, but
she said we could do something like that and that'll
Mhm.
probably help, but she would
It
prefer
does.
me to start with the physio first.
Okay. So it does help because I have used those in the past. The thing is,
Yeah.
she's right though, because if you have that on and you are trying to, because physio may help you build certain muscle areas around your knee to
Yeah.
support it better so that way you feel less pain. If you're using that kind of knee wrap, it'll defeat that purpose because you won't
Yeah.
be, yeah. So, but the thing is, I mean, if you're having just a really off day, it could help. Ice,
Yes.
Voltaren, try all of those, CeeLo.
Yeah, and I do like the morning is the worst, the worst.
Oh, I'm
And
so
then once I'm
sorry.
going, I'm okay, but I sit for an hour in a meeting and then I go to get up and I'm like, I have to stand there for a minute before I can actually
Mm,
move along. And you know what's funny? You know why I originally wrote this down to chat about is like, you know
mm,
how we talk about the fact that, you know, for something like that, I hesitate to go to the doctor, advocate for
mhm.
myself because they're just going to be like, you're fat. That's why your knees hurt, you dumb bitch. And so
Dr.
then
C
you're
will not
like,
say that, but yes.
and then you're almost, I know she won't, but, and
No,
then you're almost like embarrassed because then you're like,
I
why am
know.
I going to the doctor? It's really just because I'm fat that my knee hurts, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? My knee was doing fine for the longest time. And
Mhm,
now
mhm.
it's hurting like a motherfucker. And I've lost a bit of weight lately.
I
So
know, I
those
know.
two things should not equal each other. You should go advocate for yourself and don't blame your weight. Don't hit the doctor. Like, don't let them do that. Don't do it yourself either.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
There.
There you go. There's your public service announcement for today.
PSA.
Good
That's
girl,
good.
CeeLo. So,
Yes,
I have a question for you. Are you done
absolutely.
medical discussions?
Um, yes.
No? Are you? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I have a question for you. We have a new prime minister in Canada
Yes.
who was sworn in. And I heard, although I have not verified this, so I'm just wondering if you've heard this. I heard that he has a trans daughter.
I did not know these things.
Hmm, that's what I heard.
Oh, I
Are we?
feel like maybe I do. I don't know.
I don't know. Should I Google
Yeah.
it?
I trust him. I'm gonna Google it. I trust him even more now if that's the case.
If
Let's
that's the
see.
case, yeah. Well, I just, it's funny because I now that I hear, like when I hear something like that, and I'm thinking, geez, this guy, he's coming in, and it's such a shit show right now because we've got Trump in power, and and Trump is very anti-gay, anti-trans, anti, you know what I mean? And so I'm just thinking, geez, how's that gonna go down? But bravo. If that's true, bravo. I think that's fucking great. Are you
I have
reading?
not yeah, I have not heard any of these things. I
Yeah,
don't think
so
there's
maybe it was
anything.
just a rumor then.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm seeing a little bit about Mark Carney sent daughter to discredited UK school. Oh, wait. Mark Carney's daughter, Sasha, who uses they them pronouns and legally changed her name, discusses her experience at some school in the UK. So, yeah,
Maybe. Okay.
sounds like it.
Sounds
I
like
want
it.
hopefully he's like a good person about it.
It sounds like he is. It sounds
Maybe
like
I'll
he's
send
very
him our
supportive.
episode that we did about parenting trans kids,
Oh my gosh, actually, see though, why don't
right?
you?
I should.
Why don't you? But it seems like it seems like from what I see, it seems like everything is good in terms of his relationship. He had, I think, his daughter up when he was getting sworn in. She
Oh,
came in
okay.
for a speech
I
as
haven't
well.
watched any of it.
No?
No, I haven't watched any of it.
Okay. Well, you're
It's
defuncting on your political agenda,
Look,
your views,
I
your
know, I
news.
know. You know what though? After one of
Mm,
our recent episodes, I was like, fuck that. I'm not gonna look up any more
mhm,
current event shit. I'm not gonna
mm.
Trump, forget it. He's not getting any airplay. Instead, I'm like, what are some good news things that we can share? Did you
Yeah.
ever follow Goodable?
No. What's that?
I was thinking about it because I follow Goodable, or I
Okay.
used to follow Goodable, and it was like good news stories. It was like cute
Oh,
good news stories. So I'm like, that's
that's
the kind of
nice.
shit we should share,
Sure.
you know?
Sure. Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
But you're
Then,
not
but then
following it, so
you know
there's
what? It was like, I
yeah.
think I still am. I'm gonna have to check, but I
Okay.
like it's hockey playoff season,
Mhm.
and then I got sick. So I have
Got it.
no idea what's happened in the last like 10 days.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this new product that I've tried. So we'll change the
Okay.
topic and we'll okay.
Let's go.
All right. So I am always on the hunt for shampoo that is going to save my life. Shampoo and
Yes.
conditioner that is gonna
Yes.
miraculously grow my hair back and make it this full, whatever. Anyways, so I had been using this one brand, which I was liking. I mean, it's a thickening shampoo. And so
Yeah.
when you use it, it's like, my hair is definitely thicker. Feel like it's not what I use right now, so don't look at it right now. But girl, but it did do a good job that way, but I did find that it dried my hair out a little bit. So now I have
Okay.
wavy hair, which is already a little bit more, kind of textured, if you will. And then I also color it, right? So I found that this was drying my hair out a little bit. Anyways, I ordered something off of Facebook. CeeLo. I did it again. But I'm
They
liking
just
it.
take your okay.
But I'm liking it. Well, you
Mhm.
ordered Nick's. I'm just saying.
I know, I
So
got my next bra on now.
there you go. So on Facebook, have you seen the ads for Good Juju? It's a shampoo bar and conditioner
No.
bar. Okay.
No, but I have heard a lot on
On
shampoo
Instagram.
bars,
Yeah.
just in general, not
In
that
general.
one.
Okay. So there's one brand called Kitsch, I think, or something like that. And I had tried that in the
Yes?
past, but that really dried my hair out even more so than that other shampoo. Yeah, it
Yeah.
really dried it out. So this one was called Good Juju, and I think it's made in Canada, I believe. Two girls, actually, honestly, Celia, they remind me of you and I. It's
Okay.
like they were
I
like,
like them already.
yeah, I'll send you the ad when it pops up. I'll flip you the ad. But basically, it's these two girls during COVID. They, worked with a naturopath, I think it was, and they kind of decided to kind of create their own shampoo bar line because they were having trouble, similar to me and everybody else in the world, of finding
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that actually works, right? So I got their volumizing shampoo bar and conditioner, and I've only used it twice so far. And
Yeah.
what I can tell you is right now, so my hair is not super thick and voluminous like it was with the other shampoo, but it's dealable. Like it's an okay volume for the moment, and very soft, very shiny, very moisturized hair. I'm liking the way that it makes my hair look. Like you can't really tell it on camera, but also I have not done my hair, right? So like I washed it today, just let it dry naturally, went
Yeah.
out for a walk. I mean, you know what I mean? But if I blow dry it, then I definitely have much more volume as well and put some product in it. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to say I'm actually liking the shampoo bar and the conditioner so far. So I'm going to keep using it and then I'll let you know if
Okay.
I yeah, because it really like the shine and the silkiness of the hair and how the wave, you can actually see the wave of the hair. Like it's just it's
Yeah.
nice so far. I'm liking it so far.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. I keep
Yeah.
seeing ads for Everest, which looks like a cream
Yes.
shampoo conditioner that I'm like,
Yes.
kind of want to try it. Also Canadian, small Canadian
Yeah.
business kind of thing.
Yeah. I think they're
But
in
I'll
the
first I'll come over to your house and shower and try your shampoo.
yeah, you should try it because it's
Mm.
actually really good. And the thing is, the shampoo bar, it's like this little round bar. It's actually got rice in it. Like you can see it's got rice in it, right? But
Oh,
yeah, so because rice protein apparently helps with the thickness of your hair, but also, CeeLo, there's something in there called chaga mushroom. I think it's called chaga mushroom, and apparently that really helps with hair growth and stopping hair fall. So let me tell you, actually, has this been 2 or 3 times? Today was the third time trying it. When I had the conditioner on and I combed the conditioner through my hair in the shower, like I usually do,
yeah, yeah.
usually I get like a lot of hair that comes out into the. I got like maybe two, and this was like the third time using it.
Huh.
So yeah, it is helping so far with that, which is kind of interesting. But this chaga mushroom apparently is supposed to be better for stopping hair shedding than minoxidil, which is like Rogaine. I
Ah.
know. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I'll keep you
That's
posted.
totally interesting. I know a few people with thinning hair situations, so I would say use it for a few more weeks and then I'd
I
like a
will.
full report back and then I'll
I will.
share.
Yeah.
While I was sick, I had a haircut booked, and and then I got sick, I had to cancel it.
Hmm.
And now I'm like, look at it.
Your hair's long. Your st-
Hey,
your hair's getting long.
you know how many like pixie haircuts I get on my Instagram reels?
I
It's
know you
coming.
really want that, but you know what? Mel will divorce you, so you can't.
I know. And you
Unfortunately.
know what's funny? I was upstairs at dinner time. She's like, "So, I found this company. First of all, you did not find anything, but let's move on. I found this company that makes these smoothies. They're Canadian. Pretty sure they're Canadian. And they were 50% off. Like it was a
Oh,
great deal. Some of them are veggies, some of them have protein, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
did she buy
wow,
them?
sounds cool. This was, sorry, marketed to you on Instagram. You did
Yes.
not say, "Oh, I wish I had a smoothie company that I could find to
Yeah.
make these. I'm going to go research it and find them." No, girl, they found you. Anyways, for $80, we have a bunch of smoothies being delivered in the next couple of days.
Do you really? And
Yes, we
so,
do. Mhm.
okay. Well, you'll have
And
to
I
let me
said to her,
know.
I'm like, "We don't need why did you like, I don't feel like we need that stuff." She goes, "Well, Iz always wants to make smoothies and gets you to buy all the frozen fruit, but then it doesn't get used." And I'm like, "Okay, so you just bought
Put it back in the fridge, freezer.
smoothies?" I know, like, at least that's just in the freezer. Why did you then buy? She goes, "Look, now you have something to make fun of me with on your podcast tonight." And
You
I'm like,
know,
"Okay, good
I
point."
love Mel. I do because she is a very unique girl.
Yeah.
She's all
She's
yours.
also never wrong. She's never wrong. So
Uh-huh.
that's a good thing to know too
Mhm,
about her.
mhm. Got it. Well, you'll have to let me know how the smoothies taste, CeeLo.
I will 100%. I
Do
will
they have
100%.
protein in them? Sorry, did you say
I
they were
think
priced?
some of them do. Some of them are like fruity and some of them are more like veggie. I'm curious to try them, but
Okay.
I
Well, let me know.
yeah,
Let me know what they're
I'll
like.
keep you
Okay.
fucking posted.
Yeah, you do that. You do that.
Um Also, my girl is back now.
Is she home? Our little
She had such an
is.
amazing
Did
time in
she?
Italy.
Did
Yeah,
she?
the other night she's like, "I kind of feel like maybe I'll just make some fresh pasta." I'm like, "Girl,
Oh, I'm
they
sorry.
had
I can't have regular mozzarella. It needs to be buffalo mozzarella.
buffalo
Fior di latte.
mozzarella."
Cheese, yeah.
100%. Yeah. She had such a great time. She's
Good.
all grown up. She was like, "Pff,
Aw,
I don't really need I can do a trip like that. Like, I don't need the teachers. I could have done that by myself." I'm like, "Oh, she's gonna be that like, she's my little world
I know.
traveler for sure.
Yeah,
She's just
yeah.
off and gone and
Ah,
bye."
CeeLo.
But
I'm
yeah,
so
she had
glad that
fun.
she had a good time,
Yeah.
but I am starting to think that maybe kidnapping and holding her in the basement forever so that she stays
Yeah.
ours is not that bad of an idea.
Yeah,
Unless we get caught.
I think we can make room down here for her. Easy.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. You know?
Yeah, so she had a fantastic time.
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. So I was happy, but I am happy to have her back.
Yeah.
I had
No more
that on my
crying?
list. Yeah, no more crying.
Okay, good.
I thought I was gonna get like cryy when she came out of the doors at the airport too.
Mhm, mhm.
I held back though. I was fine. Just
Good,
a
good.
little, just a tiny little tear. Um, yeah, my girl. And I said about hockey playoffs, which has been crazy town, but it's all good. Hey, the one thing I did wanted to tell you,
Mhm.
did you hear that our friend, our good friend, Michelle Obama, they go low, you go high,
Mhm.
has started her own podcast with her brother?
I heard. I have heard. And let me tell you something, CeeLo. I
Yes.
work with someone who used to work with her and her husband, and he has nothing but wonderful things to say about her. Like, yeah, so impressive, he says. So, anyways, I heard about this,
How
and
do you
I
know
think we
these
need to,
people?
well, I'll fill you in later. But yeah, it's isn't that
I bet.
interesting though? But have you listened to the podcast yet, CeeLo?
I listened to, they did an episode on friendship. And
Hey.
I don't know if it was their first one or what, but I'm like, "Oh my god, they must have listened to our episode on friendship." And then
Yes.
they were like, "I love that vibe. Let's also talk about friendship."
That's
So
exactly
I
what they
thought, "Oh,
did. Yeah.
I'm curious to hear what they had to say." They actually had a guest on. They were
Mhm.
reading a letter from one of their listeners who was looking for some advice about friendship and stuff. And I thought it was interesting they used the term friend language. So, you know how before we've talked about like love language?
Yeah.
And they
Oh,
were like, "What's your
hey, that's
friend
interesting.
language?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay." So you could
Yeah.
have friend language like, for me in a friendship, I don't need you to reach out every day, but I need to
Yes.
know I can count on you in a crisis. I
Yeah.
need quick turnaround. If I reach out, I want you to get
Yeah.
back to me kind of that day and not like 2 weeks later kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
someone else's friend language could be a little bit more chill and less,
Yeah.
on
It's true.
top of things, let's say.
Actually, that is such an interesting concept, and I've never actually thought about it that way. But when you say that, CeeLo, it's true because, each of the friends that I have are very important to me for various different reasons.
Yes.
And they, my interactions with them are similar, but also different. It's geared towards their needs as well as my needs. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
a bizarre thing, but that's interesting that you said. I'm going to have to listen to this episode. I haven't listened to it yet, so
Yeah. Yeah, have a
yeah.
listen. The podcast is called IMO,
Okay,
in my opinion, I think.
okay,
And I thought they did a good job, and it felt really, again, probably copying us, kind of like real conversation, candid
yeah,
conversation from the
yeah,
heart, which I
yeah,
didn't imagine her to be
That's
any
right.
different
Yeah.
from being kind of from the heart person. But
Yeah.
um the guest that they had on was also a woman, and Michelle and this woman were just yammering on about gal friends and how important it is, and how
Mhm.
it's like if I
Very
hadn't seen
important.
someone in so long, it's like it's got to be a 2 day meet up because we need to like decompress, and then we need to like have some tea, and then we need to talk about what's going on with you, with your work, with your husband, my work, my husband, my kids, my this, my you know what I mean? Like and they were going through all this, and her brother's like, "Oh my God." My friends, I say, "Hey guys, I got tickets to the game. Do you want to go?" And then they go. And he said
That's
that
funny.
all women should have guy friends where it's just that, right? Where there's
Mm,
no
mm-mm.
expectation. Years could pass, days could pass. If I say, "Oh my God, we need to go out for a beer," you're like, "Yep, let's go." No judgment, no nothing. And it's
Yeah.
so true because I have a
Yeah.
few guy friends like that where I haven't spoken to them since, I don't know, end of last summer.
Mhm.
And I could be like, "Guys, we need a beer. Let's go. Next week,
And they
what
would
dates
just be
work?"
like,
And they would
yeah,
just be like,
yeah.
"Yep." And then we would
Whereas
sit
that
there and yammer on like nothing had
yeah,
changed.
it's true, and then yet if this was a girlfriend, you'd be the girlfriend would be like, "Listen, you haven't talked to me in how long? But fuck you."
Yes. Yes, or just like
Oh, I fucking love
it would require more time too, right? Like, there's like
Yep, yep,
a
yep.
process to deconstructing, I don't know, sometimes on the female friendship side, and it's nice to have a balance, like you said, a good mix for different reasons who you have
Sure. Yeah,
in your life and stuff. So I thought that
yeah,
was funny.
yeah. No, that is good. Well, I think what
Yeah.
we should do is tag her on this episode,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get her on, another episode of ours. We're gonna interview her.
Yeah, we'll interview Michelle Obama. I see that.
We are going to do
See,
it.
and
You hear
it
that,
was
Michelle?
kind of
You're coming
tied
onto our podcast. We are going to interview you because we love you. And your
it was
husband. We
kind
love
of
your husband too.
I know,
In
he's
a
so
platonic
cute.
way. It's
Well, yeah, 100% platonic way.
well,
Um,
it's true. Yeah.
just saying. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Um, it kind of the Michelle Obama thing did tie to the fact that it was hockey playoff season because I believe I've said they go low, you go high to
Yeah.
Mel a few times in the last few weeks. You know what I'm saying?
I do. She is
I
mhm,
love
like
that saying.
road rage, but road rage in the ice rink with the kids.
Yes. Yes, 100%. Road rage in the ice rink. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Good
That's
times,
positive.
baby. Good
Yeah.
times.
All right,
Okay.
CeeLo. You
All right,
have a
girly.
lovely week ahead.
Yes, you too.
Okay.
Enjoy.
We'll chat soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for taking a seat at the table today. We love our dinner guests.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow The Dinner Agenda on the podcast platform you use so that you don't miss any new episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Dinner Agenda.
We look forward to hearing your comments, questions, and even ideas you may have on future episodes.
Thanks for taking this journey with us.